We should see the intro. Should we be seeing the intro?
You are good. Everything's good. You're on.
I'm on now? Okay. Well, here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. On this March 11th of 2021, I'm Mayor Diana Broderson, and welcome to our city. Well, we haven't got to visit with you guys for a while, so I'm very glad that we're back up with you. We started the Our City show back in 2018. Oh my goodness, 3 years ago. And we went steady for quite a while until the pandemic hit, and that changed all of our lives. And we took off a few months, and then we tried again, had a couple of close calls. And so after 5 shows, we went back into quarantine, and here we are again, utilizing the new technology and all of our newfound skills of using Zoom to our advantage. So we're working on that now. And through the miracles of modern technology, our producer Chad Yoakum is at the library. Our guest Eric Reeder is in his office, and I'm in my home office. So here we are all together, but not. So we will be able to continue no matter what happens, but we're all hoping and praying that the pandemic is at the end, or at least close to the end. We're all getting excited for that. So we are started back up. This is our first show. We're going to, I'll give you just a little preface of what we're hoping to do with the show now that we're restarting. The city of Muscatine is starting a Grandview revitalization project, and that's going to take several years. But it's a big thing going on in our community, and there's a lot of people involved, a lot of moving parts, and definitely want to be transparent about everything going on for the community to see, as well as keeping everybody up to speed and getting your feedback at the same time. So we're going to focus on the Our City show, the last one of every month, being an update committed entirely to the Grandview revitalization project. So you'll always know where to go to know what's going on and where we are currently. The second show of each month is going to focus on a city department. There's so much going on within the city, and the staff works tirelessly to make sure that all of our needs are met, and they do a wonderful job. But there's oftentimes questions from people in the community about how this is working and how do we do this and how does this work. And what I have found as an elected official is that when you ask these questions about how does this work, and you understand the story behind how all the moving parts work together, so it makes a lot more sense. And so I think highlighting a city department is going to help us. And what we're going to have next week is Brian Steinman, our public works director, is going to explain to us pavement management. It's something that's really top of everybody's list right now with the winter potholes that have been left behind for us. But the pavement management really is very systematic. It's very detail oriented. There's a method to the madness of how it all works between regular streets and alleys, and there's scoring and numbers and all kinds of things we're going to learn about. And it's really going to answer a lot of questions that people always have, like, how do we decide which street gets their hole fixed first? And everybody wants to know. So Brian's going to explain it all to us, and it's going to be, I think, really something good moving forward. And then we'll focus on another department next month. So without further ado, let's get started. I have a few announcements. First of all, the current event topic is certainly the pandemic and the vaccines. So right now we're all anxiously waiting for the time for us to get vaccines so we can get our lives back to normal. And so right now I want to share that you can contact your physician or certainly a couple of pharmacies in town. So Hy-Vee gets their vaccines directly from the state and the federal government. And so you can contact them through their website. And the way it works is you go on to Hy-Vee COVID vaccines, just type it in your browser and it'll come up. And then you go on to this website and it'll have you list the store you're talking about, the city. And you type in Muscatine and it'll say probably no appointments necessary. And you can type in Wapello because they have a little pharmacy there, and Davenport and Bettendorf and Iowa City and Coralville. And I did a whole bunch of them until finally Wapello. I saw Wapello had some openings. So you can just keep going on and looking on there. That's how you get to Hy-Vee. Right now, Hy-Vee's doing over 65 and under 65 with underlying health conditions. Western Drug, you don't do theirs through a website. You call them and you get on a list. And when they have available vaccines, they will call you. And the way back Western is getting their vaccines, they're getting part of them through our local public health. Those are only to go for folks that are 65 and older. They're also, like Hy-Vee, getting some directly from the state and federal government. And those can be, besides over 65, those can also be for people under 65 with underlying health conditions. And as I said, you call them to get on their list. But navigating the system to get a vaccine can be a daunting task. A lot of folks aren't technologically savvy, and so they need assistance with that. And so up rose Senior Resources to the rescue. And Senior Resources has staff trained to navigate all of these systems for you. If you are struggling with getting on a list, with getting an appointment, please call them 263-7292. They have graciously done this to help people in Muscatine, knowing that it's a huge need. And I appreciate them so much. And I know that they have helped a great deal of people. So don't hesitate to call them to help with getting a vaccine appointment. But also if you have any questions, they'll help you find the answers. Even if they don't know them, they'll help you find them. So please use them as that resource. Next, I just wanted to share there's a workshop coming up this Saturday. It's going to be Nami on mental health. So Nami stands for National Alliance for, it used to be National Alliance for the Mentally Ill, but I think they've changed it to National Alliance for Mental Health. Anyway, they're having a really good workshop. It's a free workshop, open to anybody. You can call them to register, 563-386-7477, extension 266, and you can register for it. It's going to be this Saturday. A lot of helpful information. Next, I just wanted to share that Muscatine Parks and Rec are having a job fair on March 20th from 10 a.m. till noon. At the job fair, you can learn about openings that are going to be coming up this summer, as well as filling out an application and getting hooked up right then and there. The city always has a lot of seasonal openings to fill. And so this is a really good opportunity, whether you're someone looking for extra hours to supplement your income, if you're looking for something to do through the summer, if you're a youth, several different jobs are able to accommodate different ages. So depending on what the job is, some youth are able to be filled into those positions. So check that out. It'll be out at the Municipal Golf Course on March 20th. Next, our annual egg hunt is going to be coming up. The City of Muscatine Parks and Recreation egg hunt in Weed Park on March 27th at 10 a.m. There's a flyer coming up here. Oh, there it is. Make sure you go on the city's Facebook or website and check out all the details. It's the fifth annual for this one, but they've been doing it since I was a child. Not necessarily through the city. Actually, I think Kiwanis might have done it back then, but I remember going to it in Weed Park when I was 5. So it's been going on for a long time right here in Muscatine. So don't miss out. It's outside. That really helps with making sure that everybody's staying safe. When we do things outside, we know that's an added advantage. So I just wanted to share these announcements with you, and I don't want to hold up our guest anymore. We are very lucky to have with us Eric Reeder. He is the CEO and president of the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GMCCI for short. We always use that acronym around here because it can't just be the chamber, even though we usually just call you the chamber. How are you, Eric?
Hey, we're doing good. Thanks for having me, Mayor, and I guess having me at my own office, but pleasure to be here.
Very good. So I wonder if you can tell me, you've been here now longer than a year. Is that right?
15 months, correct.
15 months. Yeah. I was right. Yay. So you came from Rock Island, right?
Yep.
Yes. And you were doing stuff, if I'm really jogging my memory here. When you were in Rock Island, you were working with downtown development. Is that correct?
Something like that, we worked in kind of a variety of economic development, but downtown revitalization was one focal point. Yes.
Well, that's perfect for what our needs are right here in Muscatine.
Yeah, no, there's a great amount of good things happening in downtown here, and I've heard from some of the locals that just a couple things that could make it better. So it's well within reach in Muscatine.
Very good. Well, I know you and your team have really spent a lot of time over this past 15 months looking at all the different services that you provide to Muscatine and trying to figure out how you can make them bigger and better and meeting more and more needs. And to that end, I know you've made some changes with CVB, we always call it, Convention and Visitors Board. So that's had some big changes.
Yes, there's been, and I use the 15 months only as a marker because I remember about 90 days in is kind of when the world changed. So looking at everything kind of from March and that point moving forward, a testament to not only the city crews for keeping the streets clean and safe to drive during winter, our utility crews, we didn't really have the interruption during the storms. As you noted with some of the vaccines, the healthcare system here has been incredible throughout and being able to keep people informed and up to date on that. So it's really been reassuring that there's so many things working together. For us, we've looked at, how do we provide more business services to our members and the community at large. So while we say Chamber of Commerce and Industry, but economic as a whole throughout Muscatine, the city and county. So we're looking at all different angles of how can we make our organization better and then create impact within the community. So one thing that you mentioned was the Convention and Visitors Bureau, which we've been kind of helping manage or maintain over the last few years. Over the last 12 months or so, we've worked to establish a new agreement here to be able to handle those services in-house. Some of the things that we'll be looking at and working on include some new tourism grants, some new events coming up, as well as being able to put out a bunch of different advertising. You may not have seen a lot of people advertising over the last year. Come visit us because we've all kind of been waiting for things to return to normal, if you will. But everything and where we stand as a state, I think we're in a great position to welcome visitors to the community, business travel to come back. It'll be kind of slow increments, but we still want to make sure that we keep our fingers on the pulse. I have next to me here, and it'll be tough for everyone to see at home, we have a new visitor's guide. So you'll be seeing that both around town, and it is a digital version, but it's something that we were working on during the quiet months. And by quiet months, we've probably been, just like everybody else, busy as ever. But we know that there's going to be a time when people want to return to traveling. There's so many great things. You mentioned some of the events that are happening around town to open things up and be very welcoming to visitors and people who might be just returning back for a weekend. So we're excited. We know we've got to kind of be patient while things. Our job is to help Muscatine and all the great things that it has to offer, which just in what I've learned in a short amount of time is more than what I would have ever thought.
Well, I love that you're saying that you're going to get that visitor's guide out electronically, because I can really see guests being able to download that on their phone. And as they're wandering around the city, if they could just click on different things, that's going to tell them, you're this far away from here and this is where you go to eat this place. And
yep.
I think that would be really neat rather than having that hard copy book.
Yep. It works for both ends. People that are stopping at rest areas, they might be more prone to picking up paper products.
Mm-hmm.
Some facilities aren't having paper in their facilities yet. So we know we kind of have to blend those things, just like we're doing today. You've got to adapt and be able to blend to where we're at. So,
and really meeting people at all levels. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You can't sacrifice one without the other. So
no, we can't do it all one way. We've got to realize that people accept information into their lives in different ways,
Yep.
through print media, through video, through reading, through their phones, social media, all the different ways. So you've got to really attach it in all those ways.
I have a passion for print. I collect these things from all across the country. I'm a weirdo like that. Maybe having the last name Reader, I always get the joke of you must read a lot. I pick weird things to read, which are visitors' guides.
There you go. So we've all been seeing this Make It Muscatine around. What's that all about?
So that was kind of something that came out of the we were tossing around different ways so that people could stay at home or stay here within the community and be able to enjoy what we have. We're always focused on what's the next thing, where do we want to go next, or always looking for travel plans. But there really is a lot of stuff for you to make it Muscatine. We did a spring staycation, which was a gift card giveaway. We think it can play a lot larger than just staying home during a health crisis. But if you're looking to start a business, you can make it Muscatine. If you're looking to go out and have a fun weekend, you can make it Muscatine. So there's different ways that we thought we could play around with it. As we joked about print or digital, you see hashtags all over, and some people understand what that is. Others are like, it's a pound sign and a bunch of letters together. It could categorize everything on Facebook or Instagram if you're in those worlds, and a great way to get people to show their pride. So there's a lot of people that they'll take a picture of the bridge or the clamor and other things around town. So they can take ownership of that as well.
So let me make sure that I know what the hashtag means. So what I think, and I could be wrong too, what I think is if you type in the hashtag Make It Muscatine, for example, or anything else, you're going to be able to track those things.
Yep.
They're going to come to your page even.
If you use it and you want to go take a picture of Discovery Park, let's say you're watching the ducks float around on the pond out there, and you use that on Facebook. If I search that, even though I didn't post that, I can see that you're excited about Muscatine. I'd love to connect with you on Facebook.
That's what I thought it meant.
Yep.
Good. So you have a little problem with your internet there in your conference room. Am I the only one to ever tell you that?
Hey, we are in an old bank building, so it is a fortress that sometimes doesn't like Wi-Fi.
The why is that. I found the why is that way too, because it's like a concrete building.
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't all get, what do they call that? A Farragut something, where no waves get in and out, basically. But it's been very minimal. We're getting all the information.
our basement here used to be a fallout shelter back in the day. So if that says anything, we are protected from a lot of things.
There you go.
Sometimes the internet.
Down below City Hall was too. We've talked about that before. Get that right downstairs. And we had problems with internet at City Hall before getting through when we used to do the show there.
Oh yeah. Well, I got to say, even over the last year, it's been great to be able to do business from a variety of different places, and the whole work from home movement. That's another thing that if you're looking for a place where you could set up your residency, and maybe you could be living in Muscatine and working in San Francisco that way.
Absolutely.
Or New York, whatever it might be. So there's great systems in place here that I think will allow for some good things to come.
We really did find some good things in the past year.
It wasn't all bad.
It wasn't all bad. And I think we've learned a lot. I think we've learned new ways to not only do business like this, but, to stay connected with family and friends by being able to have Zoom calls with your family. I mean, we have, through the heart of the pandemic, I would call my daughter or granddaughter in the evening, and we would sit and play Yahtzee. I do it at my kitchen table and they do it at theirs. You could do different things with it. So we've learned new ways to be connected.
Right. Make the best of it.
That's right. So what do we have coming up for special events that we can expect this summer?
So kind of right around the corner is Girls Getaway on April 10th. So that's traditionally kind of the kickoff to spring events, and well, it's coming faster than we know it. So
it is.
You can go on and buy tickets to that if you're so inclined. I know our local shops here would love to see everybody out. It's a great event. And then kind of shortly thereafter, there's a bunch of other commerce-driven events that we like to say, but sip-in shops, different markets that we're looking to put together, kind of a whole list of things. Even while there's going to be some road construction downtown, we still want to be able to support the downtown business owners. So we've come up with a couple different creative solutions there. So almost every month there's new things that'll be offered. So be on the lookout for posters, or if you follow us on Facebook, it's Facebook.com/GMCCI. We like to keep it short on that one, even though we've got a long name. But a lot of fun stuff, and hopefully, weather permitting, we're able to do some great things outside as well.
Hopefully we can get back to some ribbon cuttings and different community events. I keep hoping, now that more and more vaccines are getting out there and people are getting that second dose, even though we're going to still wear masks, I think people are going to feel more comfortable getting out and about, and especially doing outside things. Yeah,
no, the timing's great with some of that stuff, albeit it's not a perfect solution yet, but people are becoming a little bit more comfortable with going out, whether it's for dinner or going to some smaller group gatherings. So it'll progress as we go along, spring into summer, but very hopeful.
Well, and I know last year you and I really commiserated together before 4th of July about canceling the parade and the fireworks. And that was, you and I talked many times about that and how sad we were to do that, but felt that we had to. And so we're hoping not to have to do that again this year, right?
Yeah, no, at the time, and hindsight, it definitely vision with an office of 5 people to manage a couple hundred to thousands of people would be a tough task there. So this year, I think we're definitely on track for some of that activity to come back. So again, all of that, even with perfect scenarios, we still have weather to contend with. So hopefully, that's for sure. Weather gods bless us. Mother Nature can be a friend of us this year.
That's right. And from every meeting I'm in with other mayors and other people that we have come in and talk about with guests, it looks like we're at low risk for flooding this year. So that's great.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. We don't need that this year.
No, we've dealt with enough.
We do not need that. No. Well, was there anything else you wanted to share today, Eric?
So I think that's kind of a good start. There's going to be a lot of new things. This last year kind of new things, our startup grant program, our micro loans, all those things are continuing, and we're going to be adding even more to help out small businesses and entrepreneurs. We're looking at connecting with our business owners and corporate stakeholders for workforce development. You name it, we're probably going to be involved with it. And we're excited that it seems everybody's coming together at a perfect time. And I'm really excited for what 2021 has to come.
I am too. It seemed like for so long, and I was talking to some family members about this the other day, for so long, we didn't have anything to look forward to.
Right.
And you always want to look for, you got this coming up or that coming up or this activity. And it was like, well, that's probably going to be canceled and that's probably good. But now I feel like we all have hope and we're really looking forward to what 2021 is going to bring to us. It's got to be better in 2020.
Great.
We're holding out for that. That's for sure. I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking with us today. Really appreciate it. I just had a couple things I wanted to share with the guests at home. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't liked and joined the Facebook page for GMCCI, I would just attest that they keep it current all the time. They're always sharing their information on there. It's a perfect place for you to stay abreast of what's going on through our local chamber. And you can stop in, and those visitors guides are available to anyone, right?
Yep, you can stop in our office today. We've got stacks of them. So they're ready for people who want to maybe explore things that they didn't know were here in town.
That's perfect. And you are located right next to where Muscatine Travel used to be, on the corner of, let me see if I get this right, 2nd and, not Sycamore, Iowa. No, 2nd and Iowa.
Yep, 2nd and Iowa.
2nd and Iowa.
100 West 2nd. So old bank building, no ATMs.
Yep, there you go. The southwest corner. Got it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Well, our guest next week, as I said at the beginning, is going to be Brian Steinman, our Director of Public Works. He's going to tell us everything we need to know about pavement management right here in our city. And we will be able to learn all there is to know about when the potholes are going to get fixed. Tonight is an in-depth city council meeting. We have two things that we're going to be talking about. The possibility of e-scooters right here in Muscatine. We don't have a yes or a no on that yet, but we're going to have another presentation on them. We've heard about them a couple times already. Tonight would be a good time if you have questions or want to get more information. Log on if you would. If you want to find the agenda and the log on information, you can find that on the City of Muscatine's website. Just get to agendas, and right at the top of the agenda is the log on information. You can click right on it. That'll be 7 p.m. tonight. Let's see. I think that's all we have for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today, and stay safe through the week. Contact me or anyone else if you have any questions. Reach out through social media, instant message, email, and get your answers that you need. Please stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you here next week on Our City. Thank you. Chad.